Hey, you're watching episode 5 of ISO Devotions, and we're in week 2 of the book of Proverbs. Last week we saw that Proverbs isn't just fortune cookie advice. It's God's wisdom for living well in His world. And we're going to be thinking about living well in all kinds of areas, like in our families, among our friends, how we use our money, and how we use our time. But today the topic is words, how we use our words. And Proverbs shows us that words are powerful. Have a listen to Proverbs 18, verse 21. The tongue has the power of life and death. Words can either give life or words can deplete life. I'm just getting word in now that, yes, it's Gary Gardner. Gary Gardner, we're going to cross to him now and he's got some garden advice for us. Thank you, Tim. I am here in my garden to let you know about 2 revolutionary products that will transform your garden. The first one of those is commonly termed water that I prefer to call H2O because it sounds better and more sophisticated. And you just pop it in a gardening can like this and pour it on your plants like this, and what you'll find is H2O makes stuff grow. Now, you don't want everything to grow and to thrive and to burst into life in your garden. H2O, that makes stuff grow, but this stuff here makes stuff go. A little bit of this stuff, pour it on a rose bush that you don't like. As you can see, I'm surrounded by them here. I might need to get rid of a couple. Little bit of Roundup on this, and you will find that it dies pretty quickly. That's the power of Roundup. H2O makes stuff grow. Roundup makes stuff go. Thank you, Gary Gardner, for that sage gardening advice. It's funny, actually, it helps us understand the way that Proverbs speaks about words and the power of words. See, words have an impact. They can be like water and give life, or they can be like Roundup and destroy life. Have a listen to how Proverbs describes it in chapter 12, verse 18. The words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. We all know, whether we've used the reckless word ourselves or it's been directed at us, we all know how hurtful words can be, don't we? How they can just pierce us deep and impact us so greatly. But we also know the healing nature of words, the life-giving nature of words, how encouraged we can be by someone who says the right thing at the right time. Now, Proverbs picks up on different things about how words might deplete life and how words might give life. And one of the examples of how words deplete life is gossip. Now, gossip is a terrible thing. Now, have a listen to how Proverbs describes it in chapter 16, verse 28. A perverse person stirs up conflict, and a gossip separates close friends. See, gossip doesn't just impact one person. Gossip can impact an entire group of friends and separate them. I remember at school in year 11, 2 of my closest friends started going out. It got pretty serious, but they broke up. And after they broke up, they didn't break up well. They started spreading rumours and gossiping about each other, and then they were picked up by other people and things were spreading around the school about them. Now, that didn't just impact both of them and their relationship. This impacted our whole friendship group and changed the way that we were relating to each other and impacted on how well we could trust each other as friends. I'm sure that some of you have experienced that as well at your school or among your friends. See, it doesn't even have to be that serious, does it? It can just be spreading rumours about someone who might like someone else, or such and such wants to go out with so and so, which may or may not be true. And then it can impact how you relate to each other. All of a sudden, it's harder to be friends and it's harder to trust people because you don't know whether people are speaking the truth. That's how words can be life depleting. But Proverbs shows us the positive as well. It shows us how words can be life giving. Have a listen to Proverbs chapter 12, verse 25, at how words can be so encouraging. Anxiety weighs down the heart, but a kind word cheers it up. Isn't it amazing when someone comes to you with a word of encouragement when you're feeling down? Isn't it amazing how a simple word can build you up and help you to face up to issues and problems and just keep living day by day? Encouragement. It's like that water that gets poured on the plant. You might be feeling parched, but that encouraging word just brings you to life. And so Proverbs shows us that using our words wisely is using them in this way. So that's the power of words. They either give life or they deplete life. And if we look at Jesus, the one that we saw last week, who is the truly wise one, the one who's the wisest one who's ever lived, we see in him that his words bring life. The power of his words is that they bring eternal life. And in John's Gospel in chapter 6, it's interesting, Jesus is speaking about how people need to come to him and they will find life. He's saying, feed on me by faith, by trusting in me. And some of those who've been following him and listening to him speak these words of life, some of them turned around and they're like, no, we don't want to listen to you, Jesus. We want to go our own way and take our chances finding life elsewhere. But then Jesus' disciples and Peter speaking up for them, when Jesus said, are you going to go off too? Go somewhere else? Peter said, no, because you have the words of eternal life. See, Jesus brings healing. Jesus brings encouragement. Jesus brings us to life and brings refreshment and enables us to live day by day the wise life following him. You know, we saw last week and I challenged you last week, who are you listening to? And how wisdom starts by listening to God. And so let's finish there again and be reminded to listen to Jesus, who is both God and who is man, and who will put us on the path of using our words wisely, encouraging others and building them up.